and welcome back. It's been a hectic couple of months, lots been going on, but I'll fill you in with that a bit later on. Right now I'm at Marsworth Junction. It's 9:30 in the morning, just waiting to get on the service point so that I can fill it with water, empty the loo and get rid of my rubbish. Then I'm going to reverse back down to the junction and head off down the Aylesbury arm. So it's a lovely day, why don't you join me? There are 16 locks on the way from Marsworth down to Aylesbury, but don't worry, I'm not going to bore you to tears by showing you them all. lock keeper. The cottage that's situated there, or the house that's situated there, would suggest it was put there for a reason, and that reason may well have been lock keeper, but it's much larger than most lock keepers' cottages. So, who knows? And if you do, leave it in the comments. So eventually the weather cleared up, the skies cleared, became nice and bright, and I found somewhere nice to moor up. days. Later on, I cycled into Aylesbury, and Aylesbury is the county town of Buckinghamshire. It was declared the county town by Henry VIII in 1529. Aylesbury Manor was among many properties belonging to Thomas Boleyn, father of Anne Boleyn. It's rumoured that the change from Buckingham to Aylesbury as the county town was made by Henry VIII to curry favour with the Boleyn family. I found Aylesbury to be a little bit of a contradiction, with large areas of the town centre having been redeveloped, but they still retain some of the older buildings and the older streets, which are very, very attractive indeed. Aylesbury's heraldic crest displays the Aylesbury duck, which has been bred here since the birth of the Industrial Revolution. The town received international notoriety when the gang that carried out the Great Train robbery at a bridge 6 miles from Aylesbury were tried at Aylesbury Crown Court. Well, this is the famous, or infamous, bridge where in 1963 a group of criminals managed to stop the train and made off with £2.6 million in used banknotes. Audacious and notorious it was. In fact, it remained probably Britain's greatest, or one of Britain's greatest armed robberies, right up until the Brinks Mat robbery in 1983, where a group of criminals made away from one of the London Heathrow warehouses with £26 million worth of gold bullion, diamonds and cash. And I think I'm right in saying that most of that has yet to be recovered. Okay, so I've set off fairly early this morning. I've gone down the last little bit of the Aylesbury, turned around at the basin, and now I'm going to make my way back up the locks to where I moored last night, and then see how far we get today. It's a nice morning. I had planned to go yesterday, but the weather was so iffy, and I needed to do some shopping to sort of top up on essentials. So I decided to do some shopping yesterday, stay dry, and set off this morning, and I'm glad I did. The Chilterns in the distance. that heron there has just fully submerged itself in the canal to get whatever it was wanting to eat. This sort of thing poses something of a challenge. Here the water level in the pound above the lock is clearly got plenty of water, and that's flowing over the top of the lock gate into the lock, which in its turn is full. At the other end of the lock, the water is flowing out over the top of the lock gate, which means you can't actually get the lock full enough to open the upper gates. The pound has to be lowered before you can get enough water in the lock to equalise the pressure, and poses a big problem. As you can see, so I've been not stuck in a lock, but stuck outside of a lock trying to get in, because I can't open that gate because of the water pressure behind it. I did learn a little trick which probably won't divulge here, because it was given to me by CRT and it's probably a little bit naughty, but it did allow me to equalise the pressure enough to get the lock gate open for me to get the boat in. But that's what boating's all about, challenges. Good morning. Oh, the joys of boating. It's around about 8 o'clock now, or I think it's about 10 past 8. And I've been up and about since about 4 o'clock this morning. Got up to use the loo and got out of bed, fell over. Only half asleep, sort of a bit of a panic. Then I realised the boat was listing. Got a quick look outside, and the pound that I was in was empty. So quickly got dressed. Boat was out of the water. Grabbed my windlass. Checked my pound. Well, I could see my pound, and checked the locks all the way up to back to the Grand Union. And then had to start and let water through. All the pounds were dry, or all the pounds were low or empty. Started to let water through a bit at a time to bring the levels up. Took me about 45 minutes to get my boat floating again. But it is floating now, I'll show you in a minute. And the locks, or the pounds between the locks, are slowly, I think I've found a sort of bit of a balance where I'm not draining water from higher up the system, or I'm not depleting water higher up the system, but these are slowly coming up. This is the pound below me, and as you can see, water levels are incredibly low, probably down about 2 feet, but actually it's coming up now. This was empty other than a little trickle through the middle. This next pound down doesn't look as extreme as the previous one, but if you look at, there's a good 2 feet of water loss there. This is the pound above me, and as you can see by the tide line, the water again is down, well, at least 2 feet. You can't make it out here, but further up there's the bank's exposed. But yeah, it's all a bit chaotic really. Met up with two CRT chaps that are out here sorting out the water levels. On their way back past me, they're going to give me a shout, and then they're going to lock me up through the remaining 4 locks, so I won't have to stop, which is a bit of a relief. So yeah, plans changed. I'm getting off the Aylesbury today. Okay, in a bit. Thanks a lot, guys, I appreciate that. I'll just wait for this lady to reverse because I'm going where she's just come from.
Oh, yeah?
I think so. Well, yeah, that's where I'm going, and she's coming down here, I think. Okay, so stopped at the services, filled up the water, emptied the loo, got rid of the rubbish, and now, thanks to the help of the CRT, we're now looking for a mooring with slightly more water than we had last night. Well, this is where I kind of fetched up for the next couple of days. I've got water, got a couple of neighbours, but it's quite a nice view over there. A bit hazy today, but I don't know if you can make out those hay motors in the distance. One of those was over here just now to say hello. Yeah, this will do for me. And I'm pleased that music that's blaring away in the background, that boat is now disappearing down the lock, so thank goodness for that. So then, if you found these latest shenanigans slightly entertaining, then please subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. If you want to know what I get up to next, then press the notification button, ring the bell, and if you thought it was enjoyable, give us a thumbs up. Okay, till next time, see ya.